there's something I would like to talk about.
Her name may be unfamiliar for some people. You may know who she is, or maybe what she has done that made her name pretty huge. I would say she really did make quite an impact. Now, let's discuss some of the things I know you'd be interested about. Let's talk about before she first became the youngest political and global activist. What exactly got her there?
If we don't change, we are f***ed.
Well, ever since she was young, this Swedish girl who was born in the 3rd of January 2003 has been able to overcome her limitations to fight for her only goal since she was 11. To stop global warming, she did not understand how others were not worried about the climate change, which she discovered in videos in class. For weeks, she skived off class every Friday to stand in front of the Parliament of Stockholm with a banner. In the 16th month since, she has addressed heads of state at the UN, met with the Pope, sparred with the President of the United States, and inspired 4 million people to join the global climate strike on September 20, 2019. In what was the largest climate demonstration in human history, her image has been celebrated in murals and Halloween costumes, and her name has been attached to everything from bike shares to Beatles. Her protest progressively infected students from 69 countries, giving rise to the global movement Fridays for Future, which of course I'll talk about shortly. Let's get into a little bit detail of what Fridays for Future is. You've probably heard of it, or maybe even better, participated in it. Well then, what exactly is it? Fridays for Future is a movement that began in August 2018, after Greta Thunberg and other young activists sat in front of the Swedish parliament every school day for 3 weeks to protest against the lack of action on the climate crisis. She posted what she was doing on Instagram and Twitter, and it soon went viral. As of December 2018, more than 20,000 students has held strikes in at least 270 cities. In total, it came to at least 1,300 strikes, and the numbers are now still growing. Many people use the hashtag Fridays for Future or hashtag Climate Crisis to align your posts to the movement and to help consolidate the message. Due to her commitment and energy she spent, Greta Thunberg gained worldwide attention and successfully inspired school students to take part in the student strikes.
Why do I have to grow up to be somebody? And I think that's especially important now.
Well, what are some of the examples of the impacts that Greta Thunberg has done with the movement? Known worldwide as a Swedish activist for sustainable development and against climate change. Although at the individual level, ordinary people are following Thunberg's example. In Sweden, flying is increasingly seen as a wasteful emission of carbon. Change of attitude captured by a new word, flygskam, meaning flight shame. There was an 8% drop in domestic flights between January and April, according to Swedavia, which runs the nation's airports. And Interrail ticket sales have tripled over the past 2 years. More than 19,000 people have signed a pledge swearing off air travel in 2020. And the German railway operator Deutsche Bahn reported a record number of passengers using its long-distance rail in this first 6 months of 2019. Swiss and Austrian railway operators also saw upticks on their night train services this year.
We should not be the ones who are fighting for the future, and yet here we are. We will rise to the challenge. We will hold those who are the most responsible for this crisis accountable, and we will make the world leaders act.
But governments all over the world are showing that they are capable of immediate action.
Governments are making promises too. In the past year, more than 60 countries said they would eliminate their carbon footprints by 2015. Voters in Germany, Denmark, the Netherlands, Austria, and Sweden, especially young people, now list climate change as their top priority.
It is heartbreaking to know all this, but it is also our opportunity. We know what we can do. We can change the way we farm. We can change what we eat. We can change how we treat nature. Some of us have lots of choices, while some have none at all. Those with the most power have the most responsibility, and most of us can do something. So, what will you do?